الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب السماوات ورب الأرض رب العالمين، وله الكبرياء في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم. الحمد لله الذي بنعمته تتم الصالحات. ربنا لك الحمد حتى ترضى، ولك الحمد إذا رضيت، ولك الحمد بعد الرضا. صل اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيد الأولين والآخرين محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له الملك الحق المبين، وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله وأمين على وحيه. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. My dear respected brother and sister in Islam, all praise and glory and thanks are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We owe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala everything we have. وَمَا بِكُم مِّن نَعْمَةٍ فَمِنَ اللَّهِ. And we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who are grateful, those who appreciate His bounties and favors, and those who realize their shortcomings, the difference or the gap between what Allah has given you and between what you're doing fi sabilillah, and help us inshallah closing that gap all the time, and help us taking the Prophet ﷺ as a role model, and help us also close the gap with the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in his worship, in his manners, and in his dedication to Allah and to his cause. My dear respected brother and sister in Islam, we're continuing with the series that we started last time. And we were talking basically about the importance and the power of goals, your goals in life, your ultimate goal and your different goals as an individual, as a family, as a community, and as a society. The power and the importance of ideas and mindset, the way people think, the prevalent ideas, the ideas that are widespread in societies. The power of reference, marja'iyya. What's your reference when you make a decision or decide on your priorities or making a choice? What's your reference? What do you refer to? That's also important for at all levels, individuals, families, communities, and societies. And the power of the importance of your habits, good habits, bad habits, and social norm. Social norm is what is accepted by the society. What behaviors, what is it that is accepted by the society that has a big impact on the society and on the individuals. There is this two-way relationship between family, individual family, and society. Everybody affects the other. So when they have good social norm, they affect you in a positive way, and vice versa. So these are things that cannot be overestimated. They are very critical. Why they are very critical? Because that's what determines the success and failure of individuals and families. And that's what determines the rise and fall of nations. These factors here. Again, goals, references, ideas, mindset, habits, social norms, beliefs, and values, the values that people, or the shared values. If you think about it, the difference between an advanced nation and a nation that is backward is in these things, the way people think. It's not in resources. We have countries that have much more resources than advanced nations. And we have countries that used to be very backward, and they became very advanced. What has changed? They did not discover any new resources, but this has changed. The minds of people, or the mindset, have changed. And if you think about it also, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that's what he did. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu said, كان الرسول يفرغنا ثم يملأنا. He used to empty us and fill us. Empty them from the ideas that they had before. The values, the ideas, the habits, etc. So Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to remove these things and replace them. That's what this companion said. At the end of the day, you are the product of these things. Tell me what is your goal in life, what's your purpose. Tell me the way you think, and that's what determines your behavior. That's what determines your decisions and your choices. And these behavior become habit. Because any habit that we have, originally it was a choice. It was a choice, but you kept doing it until it became a habit. And you think that habit cannot be changed? No, it can. Because originally it was a choice. It was just repeated. It was there for a long time. It became a habit. But again, now, because these things are so critical, they are the favorite and prime target of shaitan. I mean, shaitan, if you want to mess up with you, he's your enemy. He's our enemy. He plays on these things. It's like a virus. He goes into your CPU. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to remove the bad things and put the good things. Shaitan does exactly the opposite. Comes to you, remove good ideas and replace them with bad ideas, or good habits and bad habits, or goals, good goals with bad goals, etc. So shaitan plays on your CPU or on your immune system. Then you become an easy target for him. Then he can manage you. If he managed to get into this part, then he can direct you. And we mentioned one time an example that I found very profound, which is Yusuf's brothers, Ikhwatu Yusuf. What happened? These are older brothers, and this is their younger brother, Yusuf. So what is their role and their duty towards him? The good one is to take care of him, support him, etc. What did Shaitan do? He took that away and sold them his agenda. He planted his agenda, which is to get rid of their brother. So he turned they start planning and plotting to kill their brother. That's what he did. Of course, Shaitan was smart. He didn't come and to a person and say, how about getting rid of your brother? No. He wraps it. He created a problem or took advantage of a situation. Your father is biased toward your brother. Let's assume that was correct. And then create the problem and propose the solution. So before they think how to solve this problem, if it was a problem, if it was real, he gave them the solution, get rid of your younger brother, and then told them that after that things will be great. يَخْلُ لَكُمْ وَجْهُ أَبِيكُمْ وَتَكُونُوا مِنْ بَعْدِهِ قَوْمًا صَالِحِينَ. So this is the only problem. You get rid of it. And how did he sell it? Said that your father is out of his mind. He prefers, or he's biased toward your younger brother. Believe it or not, this is happening all the time. If you're not careful, that's what Shaitan will do to you all the time. That's what he's trying to do anyway. If you don't resist, he will do the same thing. He can make you execute his agenda, not your agenda, or not what is beneficial for you. So solve them the solution and immediately move them to start to think about how to do it, how to get rid of him. So now the discussion becomes how. What was wrong here? They jumped on the question whether this is right or wrong, halal or haram, or even if this is a problem, how can you solve it within the limits? We can talk to our fathers, we can find a solution. But he did not allow them even to spend a minute on that. Jump directly how to execute. So now someone say, kill him, others say no, throw him in the well, etc. So we get into the how, and that's how the shaitan will do all the times. Unless we are careful. He changes the program. It's like a virus. When a virus gets into the computer, into your computer, that's what shaitan does all the time. Is this something that happened only once? No, it happens all the time in our lives. And I have seen cases of spouse, wife or husband, making the life of their spouse miserable. Why? Because of an idea that was planted there. Because this wife or this husband want to change their spouse, or want to force something on them, or wants to stop them from doing something. Now, even if the intention is good, even if the ends are right, ends do not justify the means. I mean, even let's assume, and that's what I told in these cases, that's what I told people. Say, okay, let's assume you're right. Your husband or your wife is doing something wrong, and you want to fix that, or to stop it, or you have an idea, you want it to be implemented, there is a limit. Ends do not justify the means. It's not like you can do it. And the same thing, by the way, happens between parents and children. I've seen cases of parents and making the life of their child miserable. Why? Because they want to force them in a certain way. Force them to go for a certain measure, for example. Or want them to stop doing something. And again, I tell these parents, even if your intentions are good, even if what you're trying to do is right, you're doing it the wrong way. And most of the time, the wrong way will backfire. And that's what shaitan wants. Shaitan wants to destroy that family or to destroy that relationship. But he sells you always his agenda wrapped in a gift paper so that you can swallow it. That's why it's very important to ask all the time, is it right? Do I have the right to do this? Is it within my limits or outside my? If it is outside, don't even think about it. Do not allow shaitan to deceive you. Say, it's okay, do it and then things will be okay. No, things will not be okay. You cannot exceed your limits. Tilka hududullah. Your limits are the limits set by Allah. You cannot overstep them or you cannot exceed them. So in both cases, shaitan did what he did with Yusuf's brothers, turned the role of the spouse from making their spouse happy to make their life miserable, or for the role or the job description of parents towards their children. And people think they are doing the right thing. Why? Because the intention is good. The intention is good, and even the objective sometimes is good, is right. But the means are wrong. And the means lead to very bad results and outcomes. Give you more examples of shaitan messing up with our ideas. Shopping. Now, shopping is a need. Normally, you think about it when you need something. So you need something, you have the means for it, you can afford it, you can shop around and buy. Now, shaitan can turn it into a hobby or addiction so that you start buying. Buying things you don't need, buying things you don't use. And you become victims of these marketing tricks so that people keep buying things again they don't need, they don't use, and they don't even have the money for it. Just charge it on credit cards. And people are suffering and so much stress. Why? All what it takes is to fix it. Go back to normal. This is something, it's a need. So you think about it when you need something, you really need it, you can afford it, you have the money for it, then you go shop around and buy it. And I'm sure in all our houses there are so many things, stuff that we don't need and we don't use. Again, now there is a verse in Quran. This is not even analysis. إن المبذرين كانوا إخوان الشياطين. Those who squander their wealth, they are the brothers of shaitan. وَكَانَ الشَّيْطَانُ لِرَبِّهِ كَفُورًا. What is tabdir? What is squandering wealth? Buying things you don't need and you don't use. That's squandering wealth. So that's satanic idea. More examples, yeah? Eating, it's the same thing. It's supposed to be a need. Rasul ﷺ says, enough for a person, few morsels, just to keep functioning. يقمن ظهره. فإن كان ولا بد فثلث لطعامه. يعني you fill up to 1/3. Not even you fill the stomach, you fill your stomach. 1/3. وثلث لشرابه وثلث لنفسه. أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. So up to 1/3. And then there was another hadith, questionable authenticity, but the meaning is right. نحن قوم لا نأكل حتى نجوع. Now we don't eat until we are hungry. Why? Because that's what food is meant to be. It's like the fuel for your car. Have you seen someone has gas in their car and then stop by gas station to fuel? No. Only when you see the gas is low, that's the normal thing. Now shaitan turns this, it becomes a hobby and addiction, so people keep eating all the day. And to eat all the day, you end up eating what is convenient, and what is convenient is junk food, which destroying the health of people. And that's what shaitan does. Wants to destroy people, not only in the hereafter, not only wants to lead people to hellfire, but he wants to destroy their lives here. All what it takes is to fix it. And nowadays, it's so popular, this idea of intermittent fasting, that people spend 16 hours a day, at least, or more, without eating. Just to give your digestive system a break. So it became so popular nowadays, and doctors are prescribing, telling people fast. If you want to have a better health, just start fasting. Now they don't prescribe the Islamic fasting. It's not like from Fajr to Maghrib, but number of hours, and you can even drink, but no calories, no eating. Your digestive system is at rest. That's also another thing. And you know the health problems. People are suffering from obesity. People at young age start having diabetes and blood pressure and heart problems. Why? Because of this. So again, it's an idea that that can, if it change it, you either have the right thing, which is food is a need, shopping is a need. Go back to normal. Your life becomes much better. Your health becomes much better. You fall in this trap of become a hobby or addiction, then your life becomes miserable, your finances become miserable, your health becomes miserable, etc. So that's just some examples of the importance of an idea and its impact on the individuals and societies and families, etc. Now, when it comes to goals, there is a huge difference between someone with ambitious goal, someone who wants to get, someone who has very high aspirations. They want to achieve financial independence early on so that they don't have to work for money. That's a big goal. Some people, after they graduate, they want to become physician. So they go back, become student, medical school, residency, etc. Spend so much. Why? Because they have a big goal. They say, that's my calling. I don't see myself doing something else. That's what I hear all the time from those people who make that transition or that decision. On the other hand, you have someone who got a degree, got a job, and that's it. Mission accomplished. Very complacent, no ambition whatsoever, no motivation. What's the difference between the two? It's goals. Same thing for family. A family that has a common purpose or common goal, and they have the same reference for what is right and what is wrong, so that they can remind each other, that's haram, no, that's wrong, because they have that common reference. and if they have a common goal and purpose in life, this family has very high chances of succeeding, of achieving harmony and happiness. By the way, every time you see a family having even temporary goal, like they want to buy a house, for example, or whatever, people, they become so motivated and so united behind that rallying cause. Applies to family. By the way, family that has also common mission or common purpose and common reference, even their disputes and conflicts can be resolved easily. Because we have something to refer to it. فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِي مَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ. Let's see what Quran has to say about this, or the Prophet. They will not be true believers until they make you a judge in their matters of dispute. And then everybody sticks to their limits. Even if you exceed your limits and you are reminded, sorry, you go back. Why? Because of that common reference. Same thing applies to community. We mentioned the example last time. A community, when it has a goal, becomes so motivated and so united. Just ask anybody to tell you the story, any community in this country. I heard these stories firsthand. Any community that will tell you their story when they build their Islamic center. They will tell you these were great days. We were so motivated, so mobilized, so very close relationship. We forgot about all our differences. Why? Because there was a dream. There was a dream of the day of having our own Islamic centers. We no longer need to rent a place or to pray Jummah in the basement of a church. That was the case, by the way, in most cities. And most of them, they went through this. What happened afterwards, when the goal was achieved? Stagnation brings up all the differences. All the differences come up, and people suddenly remember their madhab and remember their nationalities and etc. And then we mentioned the same thing for society. When a society has a goal, and we have seen this in all societies that were subject to colonizations. When independence was a shared goal of the whole society, we have seen unity and full mobilization. And people were ready to sacrifice everything. Men, women, old, young, educated, everybody was contributing whatever they can. Why? For that dream of independence. That we want to wake up one day and see no foreign soldier on our land. So, again, time at all levels, you can see how we have seen it very recently. In the countries that have seen the Arab Spring, we have seen same situation. People were so mobilized, people were so united. You know, people in Egypt, in the Tahrir Square, they spent about 3 weeks, tens or hundreds of thousands. There were no single case of harassment or theft. Why? That goal of freedom and getting rid of dictatorship brought the best out of people. Brought the best out of them and brought that unity and that mobilization and that willingness to sacrifice. Now, if you think about it, that's what Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did. So we already mentioned that Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam كان يفرغنا ثم يملأنا. He used to empty us and fill us. That's what the companion said. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, how did he produce that great success story? Just think about it. How Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam transformed those Bedouins, Arab Bedouins, who were living very empty life on the margin of history. Nobody even pays attention to their existence. Nobody was aware of their existence. How he transformed those individuals, idol worshippers, tribes fighting each other all the time. The Arabian Peninsula was like a jungle. You never know when you will be attacked. Yeah. How Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam transformed those individuals and built from them the most successful movement of change in history. How? Before he started changing the ideas, he gave these people a mission and a purpose in life. That's the main thing that Rasul has done. People were living for themselves, and the Rasul made them live for a purpose. He planted in their minds a purpose, so they became purpose-driven people. What was the purpose that Rasul planted in the minds of the Sahaba? Two of them. Each one of them is enough to mobilize people and get the best of them. The first and the ultimate purpose that was in the mind of every companion and should be the mind of every one of us was what? أن تلقى الله وهو عنك راضٍ. That Allah is, that you meet Allah and you find Him pleased with you. That's what was in their mind. It's like student preparing for a big exam and always dreaming of the day when he get the results, when he get that he passed the test. That's what keeps that student awake and stay late at night. It's that dream. Or someone who's in medical school and dreaming all the time with a white coat and practicing medicine. That's what keeps people motivated. Or an athlete who dreams about the gold medal. So they work day and night for 4 years until to go to the Olympics so that they can achieve that dream. It's that dream that keeps people motivated and digs out all your energy and all your potential. Rasul made these companions have that dream. And تلقى الله وهو عنك راضٍ. And because that dream you can never achieve, you can never guarantee it in this life, you can never put it in your pocket, so you're going to be on your toes until you die. Why? Because none of us get the results. No, we get the results there, not here. So we're going to be motivated all your life until the last minute of your life. Why? Because we're working for something and we didn't get it. We're not sure about it. That's why the moment a Muslim starts thinking that he is guaranteed heaven, start going down. And the majority of Muslims, unfortunately, they are under that impression. They think that it's in the pocket already. So that was the first dream that Rasul planted in the mind of the Sahaba, and that generated complete transformation. The second goal, which is related to this, because they go hand in hand, one is the condition of the other. What was the second dream that Rasul planted in the minds of the Sahaba? To see the purpose of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fulfilled on earth. To see the purpose, infad muradillah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants this world to be just, or wants justice to prevail. So Muslims had this goal, that I'm going to do everything I can to make this world more just. Why? Because that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants, and that's what I committed to. And that's what will make Him pleased with me. So the two are related. I'm working for a goal to achieve in this life. I go as far as I can, and when I die, I find the other goal achieved. I find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with me. So I'm working for two goals at the same time. Working hard to see the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala executed on earth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants virtues to prevail, fadila, and munkar to be suppressed or eliminated. That's my job. And I'm not going to spare any effort. I'm not going to do just the spare time. No. That's always in my mind, because that's my purpose in life. That's my mission. And that's the greatest Islamic gift. That's the greatest gift from Islam, is to give your life a purpose and to give you a compass and a mission in life. Why? This is the Islamic greatest gift. In addition, that's what will make Allah pleased with you. In addition to that, you reap the fruits in this life. You enjoy the true happiness when your life is streamlined. It's all converging toward one goal. You no longer have conflicting goals. Everything is streamlined. It's like magnetism, streamline things. So everything converging towards that goal. Second, whenever you want to make a decision or a choice, it becomes so easy. Why? Because now you have a reference and the scale. Anything is going to help me achieve that goal, I'm going for it. Anything that it doesn't, it's out. It's very simple. No more confusion, no more hesitation, nothing. It's a very clear vision. You have the direction, compass, and you have that scale. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِن تَتَّقُوا اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ فُرْقَانًا. If you are mindful of Allah, Allah will give you that ability, that scale to distinguish right from wrong. So your choices will be so easy, your decision will be so easy, and you will be really happy no matter what conditions you are living in. You have a job, you don't have a job, you have money, you don't. Why? Because this happiness is coming from within. Has nothing to do with possessions or anything else. It's something that is coming from within, that you are consistent with yourself. I have a purpose in life and I'm doing everything that is consistent with that. That's the meaning of the verse. ضرب الله مثلا رجلا فيه شركاء متشاكسون ورجلا سلما لرجل. Allah gives the example of a man who has many bosses, they're in conflict with each other. You try to please one boss and the other is mad on you. Compare it to one who has only one boss. رجلا سلما لرجل. So Islam, greatest gift, in addition to this spirituality and in addition to everything, is that peace of mind that people are looking for it. People, they think they can purchase it, so they're trying to make money. Or they can buy stuff so that to achieve that, it doesn't work. They keep trying things, but that peace of mind is Islam's greatest gift. If you embrace Islam as a mission and you embrace the same purposes that the Rasul ﷺ has implanted in the minds of the companions, وَتُوبِ إِلَى اللَّهِ إِنَّهُ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونتوب إليه نعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. With dear respected brother and sister in Islam, inshallah, we're going to come back to these key ideas and concepts and continue with them. But just to conclude for today is what's at the end of the day, what's the conclusion here? Is you should find your calling. You should find your purpose in life. Ask yourself that question. What is your purpose in life? They call it the raison d'être, the reason you exist. What's your reason for existing? What's your purpose? That ultimate purpose becomes your reference. That ultimate purpose becomes your reference and your guiding priority and your compass. That's how you determine your roles, your duties, your values, your priorities, your decisions, and your limits. And ask yourself in every situation, what is the right thing to do? What is it that I'm supposed to do? What is it that Allah expects me to do? What is it that will make Allah pleased with me? These are the questions you ask yourself in every situation and in every relationship. And what are my limits? Do what you are supposed to do, because every day we get that call, the call of duty, the call of doing what you're supposed to do. And we have the call of shaitan and the call of convenience. And Rasul ﷺ says, Al-Kayyis, the wise person, Man dana nafsahu wa amila lima ba'da al-maut. Conquered himself. That's smart. How about the loser? The loser is the one who follows his desires. وَالْعَاجِزُ مَنْ أَتْبَعَ نَفْسَهُ هَوَاهَا وَتَمَنَّ عَلَى اللَّهِ أَوْ كَمَا قَالَ صلى الله عليه وسلم. So ask yourself all the time, which one is the call of duty, what is it that I'm supposed to do, what is it that I'm expected to do, what is it that will make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pleased with me. And don't listen to the call of convenience. Convenience gets you nowhere. It's mostly coming from shaitan. Most of the time, the call, what you are supposed to do is not convenient. But that's the right thing to do. And that's in your benefit, in your best interest in this life and in the hereafter. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم اشف مرضانا وارحم موتانا توفنا وانت راض عنا واختم بالصالحات أعمالنا واجعل خير أعمالنا خواتمها وخير أيامنا يوم نلقاك. ربنا ارحم والدينا كما ربونا صغارا وارحم موتانا وجميع موتى المسلمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين. صلى اللهم على سيدنا محمد وأقم الصلاة.